Hello and welcome to this very special show. I'm Supriya. Shrinate. The farmer unrest in Madhya Pradesh is fast turning out to be a political hot potato for the Modi government. With violence spreading to Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, the government is in damage control mode. In a big U-turn, the Madhya Pradesh government admitted that it was police firing that killed 5 farmers, even as it rushed rapid action force to Mandsaur, the epicenter of that farm protest, and the blame game has already begun. The opposition parties launched an all-out attack against the BJP. Rahul Gandhi got arrested. He is now released. He did try to enter Mandsaur. Remember, facing ire, the BJP has hit out at the opposition for stoking violence. Union Minister Venkaiah Naidu termed Rahul Gandhi's visit to Mandsaur as another photo opportunity. The farmer protest and its impact on Indian political landscape is what we're going to discuss over the next 30 minutes with a very special panel. Right here, we've got GVL Narasimha Rao from the BJP, we've got Sanjay Jha from the Congress and Jayant Chaudhary from the Rashtriya Lok Dal. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us. And GVL, I'm going to begin this discussion with you because this is about the death of 5 farmers. This is unrest that is spreading from Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu, now Uttar Pradesh. Is New Delhi unaware of what's happening in our agricultural fields? Because that's the sense one is getting from where one is speaking today.
The reality is that the overall situation, agricultural situation, is far better today than it was earlier. But then there are many areas where farmers have genuine grievances, and those grievances have already been addressed in Madhya Pradesh. So the real agitation, the violent protest that you have seen 2 days ago is actually an attempt by the Congress party to shoot from the shoulders of the farmers, and certainly the Congress party had penetrated this cadres. We have evidence of how district level and some MLAs and some political leaders belonging to the Congress party, how they have been involved in provoking farmers and indulging, and then their involvement in violent incidents. You will have to wait for only till tomorrow morning. A number of them have already been charged under 307, 332, 327 and many other sections under the IPC, 147, 148. So this is clearly a political violence that has been unleashed in Mandsaur. And today Rahul Gandhi wanted to go there and give it another lease of life. And that is the reason why he was not allowed to go there. Farmers' genuine demands have already been fulfilled, and it is not the farmers who are agitating there now. It's purely political workers of the Congress party to resurrect their own flagging fortunes. And we will expose them tooth and nail. The Congress's face will be exposed. Let them wait only for a day. You will see the charges being framed against various leaders of the Congress party, and the proof of their involvement will be in public domain very soon. We have already seen how an MLA
GVL
belonging
Narasimha Rao,
to the
I'm going to come in there. GVL, give me a chance. GVL Narasimha Rao, I have a direct question for you. There are 5 farmers who've been killed. The government has agreed and has admitted it has happened due to police violence. What are you talking about? There are 5 farmers who've been killed.
No, there have been. I'm saying there were. Can I tell you? Can I give you answer? On 4th June, the farmer demands have already been accepted. Public announcement had been made, and now the people, you see, police firing happened because there were violent protests. And who were the people who were wreaking violence? It is politically inspired cadres of the Congress party. So certainly there were farmers who were protesting, but then it is the Congress party which is responsible for the violence.
Supriya.
They will be charged with all the evidence that is available. So Supriya, this is not a very simple case of farmers protesting. This is clearly a case of a conspiracy hatched by the Congress party because they are losing elections year after year.
Okay.
I think you look at the spread of protest. This is happening in BJP ruled states because they want some kind of a resurrection.
Maybe the BJP ruled states are not perhaps in touch with reality, but I'm going to get Sanjay Jha in this discussion. And Sanjay Jha, while you can blame the BJP for what's happening, I'm going to take a direct question at you, Sanjay.
People of the country know the reality.
GVL, give me a minute now. Sanjay Jha, I have a direct question for you. I mean, apart from the fact that, you will blame the BJP, the fact also is that the farmer crisis is very acute now, but it is accumulated over the years. Can you just simply blame the BJP on this? And is there a big political game going out there, and the poor Indian farmer is actually the receiving end, is being completely ignored amidst it all? Sanjay.
Yeah, Supriya, a very valid question. Firstly, let me tell you, the Bharatiya Janata Party is living in a fool's paradise. Now, I'll tell you what is the real problem. At core, Mr. Modi's government is an anti-farmer government. And let me substantiate my charges. You'll remember under the Congress-led UPA, we introduced food security. That is in line with the Swaminathan Commission report recommendations. The Bharatiya Janata Party opposed it. Manrega, Narendra Modi opposed it on the floor of the house itself. He called it as a symbol of Congress's failure. And we all know that Manrega was meant to alleviate the tough and the miserable conditions that the farmers go through very often by giving them some guaranteed employment. You will look at again, issues that are related, like land acquisition bill, which is a pro-farmer to protect them from exploitation by large corporates. The BJP opposed it. Now you have the Prime Minister himself. In 2014, he goes across the countryside, wins the farmer votes on the assurance and promise that if he were to become Prime Minister, he will give them cost of production plus 50% as a minimum support price. Now look at how shameless and, in my opinion, how vulgar this government is, that they have Supriya gone and filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court to say that we are sorry, but that 50% MSP is not possible. This is what I call in Hindi as a Vishwasghat, but this is the betrayal of the entire farming community. Now look at what's happening in Madhya Pradesh. Now the BJP spokesperson calls it a political conspiracy, but let me tell you, it's such a pathetic comment that I don't want to even talk about it. Now, what you're witnessing in India today is a pan-India revolt happening in the rural community. BJP administered Maharashtra. For God's sake, this is not a Congress government, my dear friend. Look at what's happening in Maharashtra. Farmers are committing suicide day in and day out. Two have committed suicide yesterday. Is the BJP now going to stoop to such a low level that they will call the 40,000 farmer suicides over the last 3 years as an opposition conspiracy? I mean, for God's sake, do not become so vulgar, is my kind request to this party. The truth, Supriya, is this, that the rural agrarian crisis is on account of two factors.
Right.
You had 2 years of serious drought and 1 year when things improved on account of bountiful rainfall.
Supriya,
these guys, who I think are the most incompetent government post-1947, they do demonetization and they put a ban on cattle slaughter, things that have a direct impact on the livelihood of farmers.
Okay. Sanjay Jha, Sanjay, I get your point. I get your point of defense. I also get your point of blame. Sanjay, let me come in there.
They have sold out to crony capitalists in India.
Okay, I'm going to get into this discussion. GVL, I'll give you a minute from now, but I do want to get comments from Jayant Chaudhary as well. At one point in time, I thought there were politicians who were going to pander to farmers all the time, and it looks like right now the political blame game is on at the cost of the Indian farmer, and there are farmer suicides that are happening. Farmers are being killed in this violence. How can political parties play politics on this? Jayant Chaudhary, what do you attribute this very, very acute crisis to? I am not just going to restrict this to Mandsaur. I am going to talk about the farmer suicides in states like Karnataka, in states like Madhya Pradesh, in states like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. I mean, look at the spread of this crisis. Jayant Chaudhary.
Well, in the normal political discourse, farmers, the lobbying for farmers is not as effective and strong as it should be. We just talk about cows and Pakistan and, those sort of issues. Emotional issues get spoken about more in the media. And it's a sad fact that unless violent agitations don't happen, it's as if the farmers don't exist. Even today, I was hearing the response of the BJP, the way they are questioning the agitation, the way on social media I'm reading comments that, farmers can't wear jeans. These are questions. You can't keep harping on to the fact that for 60 years we have not ruled. You can't be defensive. You can't treat every agitation as being run by some vested interest. The actual fact of the matter is there is rural distress. There is massive unemployment. The central government has stepped back from social security schemes, schemes like Narega, which put money into the hands of the common man. And therefore, that has had an impact. You cannot move away from the fact that basic issue that the farmers are agitating for, remunerative prices, That is one thing that can have direct impact, and governments, successive governments, have shied away from giving the farmer the right price.
Okay. Just hold your thoughts there. GVL Narasimha Rao, I know you have a comment to make on what Sanjay Jha was saying. You can also respond to what Jayant Chaudhary just said. But I have a direct question to ask of you. At a time when the farming community was just coming out of the impact of drought, and there is this joblessness in rural India, and you know, farm incomes are dependent on the vagaries of monsoon and everything like that. Demonetization that you did, will you admit to me today, will you be honest enough from your party and admit to me that demonetization hit the farmer straight, and what we are seeing is an impact from that?
I think it will be dishonest for you to make that comment.
Not really, actually. No.
You're seeing a
I'll tell you why.
a huge jump in production. No, it is dishonest.
No, I will tell you why am I not dishonest.
Yes.
No, I'm going to tell you why am I not dishonest.
No, I'll tell you yes. No, it's dishonest of you to make that comment, because demonetization has not hurt agricultural production. Yeah, please tell me.
My reason for saying that is that farm income is agricultural activity is very dependent on cash flows. When cash flows get crunched, it happened at a time when Kharif crop was just coming out, Rabi was to be sowed. It had a direct impact on seeds and fertilizers, and which is why the crisis elevated. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying you impacted them. All I'm saying is demonetization made the crisis acute.
No, Supriya. No, but this is a bogus theory floated by many people in the media and by the opposition parties. We are talking about now a massive increase in production. There has not been any decline in the area sown under Rabi, because Rabi was the crop that was sown after demonetization. So it's very dishonest of the media to say, because you can't go by your hypothesis. The reality is there to show that production, be it food grain production, be it the pulses, production, you have had a bumper harvest. You don't harvest a crop if you don't sow it. So it's very dishonest to say that it is demonetization has had an impact, and people have rejected that. Farmers and people of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand would not have voted for us in such large numbers and rejected a bogus rally, a Kisan rally carried out by Rahul Gandhi had he really articulated farmers' concerns. And as far as the reality and fiction, the problem is the fact and fiction are getting mixed up. Madhya Pradesh is the best governed state in the form of agricultural growth. Madhya Pradesh has the highest agricultural growth in the world, not even in India. Under 10 years, the agricultural production in Madhya Pradesh has more than doubled. The state has received a Krishi Karman award from the central government, including for 3 years when the UPA was in power at the center.
Okay, let me...
Area under irrigation has more than trebled in Madhya Pradesh in 10 years, whereas in Maharashtra with the Congress, they gobbled up 40,000 crores without adding 1 acre under irrigation. So that is the reality. You can't live in fiction. The reality,
I am being dishonest and I'm spinning out fiction here.
Government and people, farmers. No, this is fiction.
Okay.
Because
I will not spin out fiction. Let me just get the opposition's views on this matter. Jayant Chaudhary, do you have a counter to what GVL Narasimha Rao is saying? And he's pointing out to statistics. He's saying Madhya Pradesh is not just the best governed state. I may choose to disagree with it, but he says that farm production in Madhya Pradesh has doubled. It has performed very well on agricultural parameters. How do we attribute the failure of farming to the BJP government?
See, I mean, in Madhya Pradesh Vidhan Sabha, the government itself has admitted that at least 287 farmers, including agricultural laborers, have committed suicide in the state in the last 3 months. This was given in February. So, this indicates the crisis. Don't look at production. Yes, farmers are producing more. But the question of the matter is the land holdings are shrinking. The per capita availability of land is diminishing. And the price that they are getting is diminishing. So what are they going to do with their produce? They are producing more, yields will increase, but when they go to the market, if they're not getting the right price, then what is it getting for the farmers? It's increasing the distress. You increased MSP government for 2 years. They did a lot of prachar that farmers should sow pulses. Farmers sowed pulses. Farmers increased pulses, record production of pulses, 22 million tons. And what does the government do? They go to Africa and the PM announces that we are going to import. So you do massive import, that impacts price directly. You've done a massive wheat import, which has impacted prices at the time when the farmer is taking the wheat to the market to sell. So you have to look at the price the farmer is getting. When the farmer says that Swaminathan Ayog, the commission report that BJP itself had made an issue, an election issue, they included it in the manifesto. Pradhan Mantri Modi ji himself in every rally spoke about it. If a farmer today stands up and says, where is that report? Why has it not been implemented? Why am I not getting the right price for my produce? Does the BJP have any answer?
You know, just for the benefit of our viewers, I want to point out here, we're constantly referring to the MS Swaminathan panel report, which had promised, which had actually recommended that there should be a 50% rise in cost price for that. But Sanjay Jha, you know, even as you blame the BJP today, and I believe you have every political reason to, this is how politics is played in this country, can you shy away from the fact that, that the problems of the farmers really boil down to three issues? It's procurement, pricing and distribution. The Congress was in office for 10 long years. Why could you not fix any of that? Can you shy away from taking some part of the blame today? I mean, Rahul Gandhi is all and within his political right to go ahead and protest there and quote arrest. The fact is that procurement, pricing and distribution is what could have resolved the problem, and that did not happen. Jayant Chaudhary is right. The farmer can produce a lot more. Is he getting the price for his production is the big problem right now.
You know, Supriya, unlike the duplicitous and extremely disingenuous BJP, we will not try and skirt away from answering your problem. You are absolutely right. The problem of the agricultural sector or the rural community or the farming sector is not something that you could solve overnight. But I'll give you a couple of examples to say the priorities that the Congress-led UPA had were bang on target. Number one, but let's go back quickly to 2 points in history. Despite when India was still struggling as a less developed economy, you will remember the Congress created the Green Revolution and then the Varghese Kurian-led Operation Flood or the White Revolution of the Amul cooperatives. Now, both of them are landmark achievements that we can be very proud of, that you can actually transform the rural landscape of India, provided you have a political will. No, now let me answer. So, Supriya, I'm answering your question. We appointed the MS Swaminathan Commission report because we realized the rising inequalities and the diminishing contribution of agriculture to GDP was a matter of concern because 70% of India depends on it. Now, let me give you two examples here. During the time of the Congress UPA, we actually implemented some robust recommendations made by MS Swaminathan. Food security was one of them. The other was biodiversity, Kisan credit cards, you have price equalization funds, you have e-chopals. We made strong initiatives. Now, in 2014, however, we lost the power. You should ask this question of the BJP. Why have they ignored the rural sector and the farmers till now? Let me tell you, they keep talking about crop insurance scheme. You know what has happened in crop insurance? 24,000 crore of premiums have been earned by private insurance companies and the payouts have been just 3%. Actually, the farmers are being looted under that. 83% of the premiums have not even been paid. Ask them, they keep talking about, you know, we give soil cards. There's been zero utilization. So what is happening today is they are facing the ire of the entire farming community because they have truly betrayed them. I don't think it has been their, intention whatsoever to actually do anything for them. But when Mr. Modi got hit by the Soot Boot Ki Sarkar comment, they started pandering to the farmers in the budget to try and say, you know what, suddenly Mr. Modi, the crony capitalist buddy has become pro-poor.
Okay, Sanjay Jha, I get your point. I get your point about the Sarkar not being pro-farmers, but I'll let GVL Narasimha Rao first make a point of his defense and then we will carry on because I think he had a point to make to some of the arguments.
Supriya. No.
Sure.
You know, the farmers are so unhappy with our government that then they are making the Congress bites dust in every local body poll and every election. Uttar Pradesh, I think you can try and fool yourself. But you cannot fool the people of this country. Uttar Pradesh is largely an agrarian state.
You lost Bihar.
You are an agrarian.
You lost Delhi.
No.
You lost Kerala.
We have
lost
improved
West
in
Bengal.
every state.
You lost Tamil Nadu.
Uttar
You lost
Pradesh,
Puducherry.
more than 90%.
Do you realize that you have lost more elections than you have won?
Did you win West
Don't
Bengal?
try and claim credit
Tamil
for
Nadu?
Uttar Pradesh elections.
Did you win Tamil Nadu?
One election,
did you
one
win
state
Manipur?
is not the country.
Did you win?
Uttar
did you win
Pradesh
Haryana?
is not the country.
Come on,
Uttar Pradesh is one important state, it's not the country.
You have won
Don't
Punjab,
create an election victory as a mandate from the farmers. The farmers are now asking you, where is the black money?
This is where I come in. Gentlemen, this is my show and this is where I come in. GVL Narasimha Rao and Sanjay Jha, can I please come in? This is my show and I'm going to call the order here, please, gentlemen. GVL Narasimha Rao and Sanjay Jha, I have a simple point to make to both of you. And GVL, the question to you is, are you being too led forward by just your electoral victories? The reality on the ground is that farmer suicides are happening in this country. The reality on the ground is that 5 farmers have been killed in police firing. And Sanjay Jha, the counter question to you is, while you can say whatever you may of the BJP, do you have a political cause? You have lost electoral appetite. You have been voted out of states after states. GVL Narasimha Rao, I'll let you first respond to your question and then take it forward with Sanjay Jha.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
1 second.
Supriya,
is your electoral victory masking what's happening on the ground?
No, I think if there is anything in a democracy that reflects the well-being of the people, it is the political, it is their democratic exercise of their franchise. I think if you divorce the two, if you say electoral performance or people's mandate has no meaning, no relation to people's welfare, I think you are being highly disingenuous. People are voting us back into elections. They are voting us in large numbers because they are happy with our performance. Uttar Pradesh is a state where we were a number 3 party. We were on the verge of actually collapse in Uttar Pradesh a few years ago. Today we have won a huge mandate and it's an agrarian state. It's farmers who voted for us in large numbers because they know this is a government. This is a party which is looking after the interests of farmers. Be it Fasal Bima Yojana, urea. Until we came to power, the Congress had such a arrangement with fertilizer companies. There was a scam even there.
Right.
They would not let farmers get fertilizers because there was a big scam in fertilizer price fixation. So as a result, when we made it a neem-coated urea, there is no shortage. Farmers are very happy. Okay. Fertilizer prices have actually gone down. The overall inflation today is well below 4% when the Congress gave a more than 10% inflation continuously. So people can see through the difference. They can see under a Prime Minister.
That's also because the MSP is very low, GVL.
There is governance that
I get your point. I get your point. Sanjay Jha, respond to that. The point that GVL Narasimha Rao is making is very valid, that in a democracy, it's electoral victory that counts. And if people in Uttar Pradesh, which is an agrarian state, have voted BJP with that stunning majority, is the Congress perhaps barking up a wrong tree? I mean, taking up this farmer agitation and taking up this farmer cause, it looks like is not divorced from the farmers as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. How are you going to respond to that?
You know, Supriya, Punjab, the state of the green revolution, the wheat revolution, rejected outright the BJP government in Punjab. What is that a manifestation of? And let me also tell you, a lot of people, and I'm willing to confess this on your channel, that a lot of people, actually the young, the rural, the farming community began to believe momentarily that, can I speak without an interruption, sir? That demonetization was, actually, they didn't know that it's just a complete, shall we say, a spin, a cosmetic fraud to make people believe that this government was against black money, crooks. The truth is that this is the question that the farmers are now beginning to kind of recognize, that where is the black money? What difference has it brought to my life? And these are fundamental questions that the farming community is now beginning to ask, because they have seen that the mask is off. This government, by the way, is procuring dal from the farmers at a price lower than the MSP. So you have an MSP of 5,000, they are buying tur dal at 3,000. How can a farmer subsist? So the reality is that today, if there are farmers on the streets, it's such a ridiculous preposterous and puerile statement of the BJP to blame opposition parties.
The reality,
this party is not grounded
Sanjay Jha, I get your point. Sanjay, I get your point. I get your point there. I think the reality of our debate and our discussion and the political reality today is that the BJP will keep posturing Uttar Pradesh in the name of farmer crisis, and you will keep posturing Punjab. That's exactly what is happening between the two main parties of this country. But GVL Narasimha Rao, if I may take the discussion away from this, and this is my last talking point, I'm running out of time here. I want both of you to be brief on this. The fact is that, you know, if telecom is going under, if Anil Ambani needs a lifeline, or if big loans have to be restructured, the big NPAs are all the talking point. But it looks like the farming agitation, the farming crisis, the agrarian stress, and everybody is talking about it, is not a talking point for this government. Are you going to deny that? Or will you actually introspect and say maybe over the next 2 years that needs to be more in focus?
No, Supriya, it's a reality is it's not a talking point in the media. I think please accept it. I think for the government, it's a high priority area because we are, though agriculture contributes only a sixth of our GDP or even less than that, but in terms of our population dependent on agriculture is still a majority of our population, and therefore agriculture derives maximum attention. We have in states where we are in power, we have delivered double-digit growth in agriculture, and possibly that is the single most important reason why we have been elected to office again and again in states like Madhya Pradesh. In Maharashtra, where there has been a drought for many years, and 40,000 crores were eaten away by the UPA government in Maharashtra, where we, under the Fadnavis government, we are constantly adding areas. Water conservation has taken on in a big way. Even Manrega, which used to be a money that was thrown down the drain, we have used all that money for building water conservation and water bodies under the Manrega. So this government and this Prime Minister understand the value of water, value of agriculture, and the value of supply of electricity to farmers. So certainly there is an all-round improvement in infrastructure. Look at the rural roads, which are very important for agriculture. Look at electricity. I think in all these areas we have made massive improvements. The public investment in agriculture, in irrigation, it has gone up many-fold in the last 5 years, last 3 years. Okay. It doesn't get discussed. It doesn't get enough attention in the media. It's certainly a tragedy. But for government and for the party, agrarian issues and rural concerns are certainly on the top of our agenda, and that is the reason why people are appreciating governance at the center.
Okay, I'm not going to carry on this discussion any further. I'm completely out of time here. I do hope it will not be a tragedy as far as India shining was concerned for the BJP. I do hope the Congress will learn its lessons and perhaps do more constructive politics. Quoting arrests is not going to solve the agrarian crisis. But the reality of our lives is that there is an agrarian crisis, and I think as a political class, as journalists, perhaps we're all in denial. Jayant Chaudhary is back with us, and I'm going to give a final word on the show. Jayant, you're neither the Congress nor the BJP, and so I think you're the right person to answer a very frank question that I have. Are we seeing India shining all over again? Okay, I think we've lost him, and so we've got to end this show right there. But thank you very, very much, GVL Narasimha Rao, Sanjay Jha, and Jayant Chaudhary for being with us.
Can I make a quick comment?
All right, a very quick one, Sanjay Jha, but no more than 30 seconds there.
Okay, let me tell you, Supriya, the manifestation of what this government's priorities are can be seen that the Agriculture Minister of India, while Madhya Pradesh is burning with farmer killings, is doing yoga in Bihar. The Prime Minister of India, when Tamil Nadu farmers were protesting in Delhi for a month, had no time for them. But he can meet Bollywood celebrities like Akshay Kumar and Priyanka Chopra. Let me tell you, somewhere down the line, it is sending out a message. Okay. And the people of India are watching. The farmers are watching. Everybody knows the truth. They can't run away from it.
Sanjay, a very similar statement can be made about Rahul Gandhi and his chosen day of Indian politics as well. He's not a career politician, is what a lot of your opposition does say. But on that note, I'm completely out of time. Thank you very, very much for being with us. Sanjay Jha, GVL Narasimha Rao, and of course Jayant Chaudhary for this fascinating discussion. Agrarian crisis is acute, and I do hope the political class will have the will to resolve it.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNow Live. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.